Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we're discussing a watch launched in 2003 that represents one of the best pieces available in the 2000s. I recommend it to folks who are looking for a just one watch collection, or those who are seeking enormous value in a name brand multi-complication. This could very easily be my only watch, and it's beautifully sized. It is the Ulysse Nardin Marine Annual Calendar Chronograph in stainless steel, 40 millimeters in diameter, 13.8 millimeters thick lug-to-lug for just measuring the lugs of the case, 43.4 millimeters. It's actually 56.9 millimeters if we measure these conforming rubber end links to the bracelet strap, but don't think of it that way. It doesn't wear that large across the wrist, and I'll show you on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. Really, think of this as a 40 that wears true to size. You can see how the multiply articulated strap bracelet hybrid bends beautifully around the wrist as those rigid end links, which are made of rubber by the way, they mate to the case, but they also curve down. So the curvature is down and around your wrist, and you can see in this down the barrel shot how it is an elegant, graceful, and almost tailored fit, with the lugs of the case coming nowhere near the edge of my wrist. It's flat enough that it will fit underneath most sleeves, and you can see from over the top, again, the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. So I really believe that even on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, you can wear this watch well. Ulysse Nardin is famous for creating multiply hinged, articulating hybrid strap bracelets. So while the case itself is steel, the hardware on the bracelet and clasp is actually titanium. You could see that we have two sets of hinges so that this is rigidly fixed to the case, but the ergonomics are superb, and you can see you get that double hinged joint on both sides. The strap itself is fluid, matte finished, and very flexible, and you can see there are multiple scoring marks down here, so you can cut it correctly to length, and we will help you cutting it to length. We will make sure it is right for you. There are two little pairs of divots inside the clasp, so you can actually change the anchoring point of the spring bar and move this in or out to fine-tune the fit. We have a double folding clasp, again made of titanium. It is a sequential close, one side before the other, and then it has a twin trigger system, so you have to press them both before it pops open. You can see the triggers are polished for contrast, and then all of this, all the hardware on the bracelet and clasp is made of titanium to reduce weight. The case is a lot like the other Ulysse Nardin Marine watches, as it is a wristwatch designed to reference the company's famous marine chronometers of the 19th and early 20th centuries. They were deck clocks used for navigation, and they often had this sort of concave case profile with bolt-fixed individual number plates, and you can see here we actually have fired blue screws holding that inked and satinated and beveled number plate in place. You can even see on the reverse of the watch how we have blued screws holding the case back in. It is beautifully done. You can see the complexity of the case shape and the curvature of the case band as well as the lugs. We have screw-down crowns and chronograph pushers, 100 meters water resistant, bezel coining like the old chronometers, and a dial that is modeled loosely on the old marine chronometers. This is less obviously modeled on the deck clocks than some of the other marine models because we have to include a lot of complications here. We have a black dial with matte finish to reduce glare. You can see we have matte finished or media blasted metallic hands at center, and then we have satinated metal Arabic numerals. You can appreciate the chronograph functions, seconds, minutes, and hours include red varnish for easy reading. We have a double-digit twin-disc grand date, or large date, up at 12 o'clock, with a month down between 4 and 5, and then a tachymeter rejo outboard that acts as a scale you can use to gauge the speed of an object, such as a car over a kilometer. And you can see how I screw out these pushers, reset it. The action is excellent. Vertical clutch chronograph module with no jump or stagger. And if this looks familiar to you, a big date annual calendar with a month and a big date paired with a chronograph, that's because this is very similar to the Dubois de Praz vertical clutch annual calendar chronograph module used on the Richard Mille RM11. You're just paying, well, you're paying god-awful money for that and well under 10 grand for one of these. So if you don't want to spend real estate money on your high-end sporting annual calendar chronograph, check out this UN. Now the watch does have lume, not as much as the other variants, and you could see that it is still quite well loomed, absolutely no issues there, with the chronograph subregisters even loomed for easy reading. Taking a quick look, the black dial model is much less common than the white dial model, and the white dial model is very uncommon. This is a wonderful watch because it's versatile in its size, so it can be worn on almost any wrist. It's your sports watch, it's your dress watch, it's your calendar watch, it's your chronograph. It's got a rubber strap, titanium hardware, a steel case, 100-meter water resistance, automatic winding. It's simply packed with value. On the reverse, you can see a catalog of gold medal timing triumphs by Ulysse Nardin at international exhibitions. And inside the case, we have UN caliber 51, which is a combination of the Dubois de Praz module with the chronograph and annual calendar, and then an automatic base movement. So we have a vertical clutch chronograph up here. So vertical clutches means there's no extra play in the operation of the chronograph seconds hand when you start and reset. We also have an annual calendar with a big date. So what this means is the calendar will be correct just about all the time. The only time you need to correct the calendar is once annually during the jump from February to March. All the other irregular length months it can handle. Now there is a quick set system, so you can rapidly cycle that double-digit date. And as you advance the date, you can see that the month also jumps, so it's a very practical system. Pull the crown out all the way, you have hacking or stop seconds. The base movement is an ETA 2892A2, which is bidirectional automatic winding with a 40 to 42 hour power reserve. It has a 4 hertz beat rate. And then you have all the additional functionality added by the complication module. This watch is simply chock-a-block with cool features and versatile design, and it's one of my favorites ever. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.